What's going on, people? Hope you guys can hear me. I am going live. Live? Okay, I am live. It is gonna be a bit delayed, guys. Just bear with me. It's my first time on this thing. Um, so let's see how it appears or how it goes. Um, so let's have a look. See if this is working. So I'm just gonna obviously check out what's going on in the. Said about to release the Premier League fixtures, and then let's see how that goes. Let's see how this goes. Let's see who Arsenal gets in the Premier League. Hope you guys are good. Give me a thumbs up if you're around, if you're watching, all that good stuff. Yeah. It's gonna be very interesting to see who we get in the first game. I think that's basically what I'm more interested in. Our first away game. I've seen this morning in the rumours that Arsenal potentially might have Manchester United, I think. Yeah, as their first game of the season away at Old Trafford. That's basically what I've heard. So that's going to be very interesting. That is going to be very, very interesting indeed. So let's see when the official announcement actually comes out. Yeah. This is going to be very interesting indeed. Just waiting for it. Obviously, they got that new Premier League ball as well, Puma. Don't know what's going on with that, to be fair, because I'm not really a fan. I prefer Nike. I'm not gonna lie, I prefer Nike. Yeah, it is what it is, but it is what it is. It's a shame that Arsenal still have not signed a striker. That's another thing because we're still basically waiting. There's been a lot of rumors, woken up to a few more rumors basically this morning. I think one of the main rumors is the head Arsenal, the assistant coach is going to be leaving. That's basically news that broke overnight. Just reading it now. Carlos Huster? I think that's by how you pronounce his name without chopping it up. He's going to be leaving Arsenal to join Parma in Italy. So it's going to be very interesting. Yeah, very, very interesting. Let me know in the comments what you guys are saying, and then we'll go from there. Really, yeah. Fabrizio Romano did the "Here We Go" this morning. So basically, he has arrived in Italy in order to sign as the new Parma head coach. He's leaving Arsenal coaching staff with green light. Arrives with green light. He arrived apparently in Italy this morning. So yeah, very interesting indeed. Very interesting indeed. Let's see how that one goes. Just waiting up till 9 o'clock now. I've got 5 minutes until 9 o'clock before the first Premier League fixtures obviously get released. The thing is, a lot of this stuff gets released. I mean, they get leaked, should I say? They get leaked quite early to say the least. And yeah, a lot of people potentially would have known the first opening fixture. I believe it's on the 15th of August. That's when the new Premier League season obviously starts this for next season. So it's going to be very interesting, to say the least. Very interesting. Obviously showing Liverpool now when they lifted up the trophy literally just last month, and we're already talking about the Premier League starting again. It's mad how football comes and goes very, very quickly. So yeah. I guess basically we're all just waiting for the fixtures to come out. That's what it is basically. So let's see. See what happens here. It's gonna be very interesting, to say the least. Very, very interesting. In other news, Nico Williams obviously is giving priority to Barcelona. It's been reported that he basically wants to go to Barcelona. So all parties are aware. I think that's probably the best way of putting it. All parties are aware, including Arsenal and Chelsea. Xavi Alonso obviously doesn't want to let Rodrigo go either. Darwin Núñez apparently is going to be going Napoli, or is linked with Napoli. And then you've got Kirkes, who's going to be going to Liverpool. He's mad. To say the least, this is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And obviously then Arsenal still here, still trying to decide whether they want to go with Sesko or Gyökeres, and we're still waiting. We are still waiting. Yeah, I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. Let's copy that. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. Obviously to see who we get. Oh, here we go. The rumors were right. The fixture list has been released. Remember earlier when I was literally just saying about the rumors where Arsenal were going to be going away to Manchester United first? The rumors were right. The rumors were right. I literally just said it not too long ago. And yeah. Oh my God. It's been released. The Premier League fixture. What in the God's earth? Why? How? Somebody explain this to me. Obviously, the new Premier League season starts on August the 15th, right? And Arsenal have been drawn with Manchester United away first. Oh, you can't, right? I don't even know whether to say that's an easy 3 points. What? What kind of... Why do we always get this kind of starts? We always get a difficult start. It's like they're trying to test us. They are trying to test us. Oh my God. So Manchester United against Arsenal away, opening weekend. That's probably going to be like a Super Sunday. Oh my God. And then you've got Liverpool at home first against Bournemouth. You've got Aston Villa against Newcastle, Brighton against Fulham. What is this? Nottingham against Brentford. And in the first sort of month, in our first 3 games, we're going to be playing Manchester United, we're going to be playing Leeds, and we're going to be playing Liverpool. And everyone's going to be saying, Arsenal was going to win the league, Arsenal's going to win the league. When you're starting off your season like this, Manchester United, Leeds at home, and then Liverpool away. Oh my God. So the first 3 games, we're playing Manchester United and Liverpool away. Oh my God. Nah, this is... Nah. Oh my God. Yep. Red Divided are going to have a field day on this one. They definitely are. Honestly, nah. I saw the rumors, and I said it earlier when I came on live, right? I saw the rumors and I was like, oh, there's a rumor that Manchester United are playing Arsenal first. I was like, nah, surely this can't be real. And Lord behold, it is absolutely real. Absolutely real. Oh my word. I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. Oh my God. Just messaging some of my friends. Oh. I honestly cannot. I can't. I'm flabbergasted. Wow. Is this how they're doing us? This is how they're doing us. Bro. This is how they are doing Arsenal. Because I remember, was it last season, right? Who did we play first? I'm trying to remember. It was a hard start as well. It was a hard start. Arsenal versus... Please let me know how you guys are feeling if you're an Arsenal fan, United fan. Yeah, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Yeah. I really don't even know what to say to this one because so the Premier League season obviously kicks off, I believe is it August the 15th? Got Tottenham playing Burnley away. Tottenham are playing at home first, apparently. Let's see what the opening weekend is gonna be like. So the opening weekend fixtures goes by, and this is what is happening, guys. Opening day fixtures Friday. We're starting off, like I said, August the 15th. So they're starting off with the champions. They're starting off with the champions, Liverpool against Bournemouth at home at Anfield. That's going to be an 8 p.m. kickoff, obviously live. That's going to be very interesting because Bournemouth, let's be honest, they had a really good end to their season, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's going to be a very, very interesting game. And then on Saturday, you've got all the sort of 12 o'clock early kickoff, which is Aston Villa against Newcastle. Oh my God. At Villa Park, that's a 12:30 kickoff. And then you've got all the 3 p.m. kickoff times. Brighton against Fulham, Nottingham Forest against Brentford, Sunderland against West Ham, Tottenham against Burnley, newly promoted team. And then you've got Wolves against Manchester City. Ooh, ain't Nori going back to Wolves on his first game of the season, playing for Manchester City. So that's going to be very interesting to see the kind of reception that he gets. That's going to be live at 5:30. And then we go over to Sunday. And it's going to be basically Sunday. You got Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. That's going to be a very interesting game. That's also live 2 p.m. kickoff. And then you got the big one on Super Sunday, which is Manchester United versus Arsenal at Old Trafford, 4:30 p.m. And then you got Monday Night Football, newly promoted team Leeds against Everton at Ellen Road, I believe it is. So yeah, that's going to be very interesting. So Leeds and Sunderland, the newly promoted team, are the only 2 teams playing at home in the opening weekend. And then it's for me, let's bring it back to Arsenal. So let's bring it back to Arsenal for a minute. Arsenal first 3 games is Manchester United away, Leeds at home. Hopefully I'll try and get tickets to go to that game. If not, I'm going to be basically doing my live here. So make sure you obviously subscribe. And then we've got Liverpool away. Oh my God. Yeah. Got Liverpool away. So, am I worried? Should I be worried? I'm not worried, but it's a tough start. And then after that, you got Nottingham Forest at home. Then we got Manchester City at home. Then we got Newcastle away. My word, that's not an easy start. That is not an easy start. I'm not gonna lie. The only thing I'm looking at now is potentially you're looking at Leeds potentially can get 3 points from there. And then you got Nottingham Forest. You're not guaranteed with the way that they're playing. We're playing them at home at the Emirates as well. And then we've got Manchester City early at home at the Emirates as well. And then we've got Newcastle away at St. James's Park. So that's going to be it's a very interesting start in terms of the fixtures. And to be really honest, let's be honest about it, a lot of the games these days aren't easy in the Premier League. They're really not that easy anymore, because a lot of the teams now are sort of strengthening and they're playing well and all that good stuff. So for me, and then if you look at it, and we go into the month of of October, for example, then we've got West Ham, and then we've got Fulham away, then we've got Palace at home, then we're going to the month of November, for example. Then we've got Burnley away, so you can potentially say might be a 3-pointer. Then you've got Sunderland away. Then we've got Spurs at home. So those are the fixtures you're potentially looking at. Because when the fixture list comes out, right, for an Arsenal fan anyway, the fixtures that you're looking at for the big 6 initially, the Manchester United one, obviously rivalry. Then you've got the North London derby. We're playing them at home first. I don't know if I'm in support of that, but it is what it is. And then you've got like the Chelsea, the London derby. So we've got back-to-back London derby. So we've got Spurs at home and then we've got Chelsea away. That is not easy. And obviously in a mixture of all of this, potentially, they're probably due to change, because then you've got Champions League probably going to be sandwiched in between all of this fixtures, probably starting from September. As we know, the new Champions League format. There's a lot more games, which tends to end around the January time instead of December before Christmas. Excuse me. And then November, you've got Burnley, you've got Sunderland away, both away, newly promoted teams. And you've got obviously Spurs, as I said, in November. You've got Chelsea away. And then we're going into December, which is probably one of the hardest months in terms of fixture list and all that kind of stuff. Then so we start off with Brentford at home. And then we got Aston Villa at home. Aston Villa away. And then we've got Wolves at home, Everton at home away, Brighton at home, and then Villa at home. And then we've got Bournemouth away. And then we start with the reverse fixtures, which is then we've got Liverpool in January, January the 7th as it stands, and then we're playing them at home. And then we go from there. And then Nottingham Forest, then United again, and then Leeds, and then we go from there. I'm just looking at the final game of the season. We're playing away. I think we played our last game of the season at home last season against bloody hell, was that Newcastle? Or I can't even remember now. It's gone from my head. Bloody hell. But last game is gonna be away, London Derby away at Crystal Palace. And then we've got Burnley before that, West Ham before that, Fulham and all that good stuff. So it would have been good because considering, I mean, you look at it, again, I'm not saying Arsenal are going to win the league, but you look at it and then you think to yourself, it would have been good if to say we were able to play our last game at home, because I'm of the opinion that we're going to be challenging for the league. And imagine if we did win the league, it would have been good to lift up the trophy at the last game of the season at home. But it is what it is. But those are the fixtures. Oh, it's crazy. So the standout fixture for me, it's starting with Manchester United. Away as well. Away. Honestly, like you couldn't write this. And this obviously then brings me back to the whole transfer window. Now that we know who we're playing, when we're playing them, or now that the fixture list has come out, it's not up to Arsenal to go out and do some signings because it's ridiculous now. All these links, all these, we're interested in with your careers, we're interested in Shesko, there's this discussion, and now we're losing, and there's a potential that we're going to be losing Nico Williams to Barcelona. How they're going to be able to afford him, God knows. I couldn't tell you about that, but obviously they've got financial issues. They're going to have to jiggle some stuff around. And I don't know, is it going to be a case of one of those things where Barcelona, which they've done in the last couple of seasons, they sign a player, but they can't register him because they can't afford him. And then they're trying to find a way of registering a player. I don't know if that's what it's going to be like, but a player like Nico Williams would have been somebody I would have loved to come to Arsenal, but it's not looking like that is going to be the case. Then our backup is, at the moment, the way it sounds, it's going to be Rodrigo from Real Madrid. That's not going to be an easy transfer. It is not going to be an easy transfer. So I don't know what's going to happen in regards to that. Just looking at the opening fixtures on Sky Sports, as I'm obviously recording this live as well, I don't know what's going to happen with that. And I think if we do end up going with Rodrigo, this is going to be one of those things where it's going to drag. It is going to drag almost all the way to the end of the transfer window, because as you guys know, Arsenal takes forever to bloody to sign players. That's the first thing. And another thing is Real Madrid potentially don't even want to let Rodrigo go. Let's be honest about it. They probably don't want him to go. So it's like, then what do you do? So that's what I think. And the fees as well. I mean, I'm hearing things in the regions of 100 million euros. Do Arsenal have that kind of money to pay for Rodrigo, considering that we paid for Declan Rice 2 seasons ago, almost 3 years now, coming up to 100 million as well? So it's like, do we actually have that kind of money to do that again? That is the question. So we'll see how that one goes. But Arsenal need to get their backside and start signing some players, just literally, because it's getting ridiculous now. It's getting ridiculous now. We need to start signing some players as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah. It's going to be very, very interesting. And in my opinion, I think I said at the end of last season that Arsenal need to sign at least 5 players. So the positions that I was basically looking at, obviously striker goes without saying. And then you've got obviously the striking position, got left wing, which then potentially means that either I don't think we should get rid of Martinelli, because this is the problem about this fan base. We talk about strength in depth, but you want to get rid of all our good players. It doesn't make sense. Martinelli, I've criticised him just like everybody else has. Yeah, I have criticised Martinelli, and I think a lot of people also have criticised Martinelli. But to say like we need to get rid of him is beyond me. Is beyond me. So personally, I wouldn't be getting rid of Martinelli. I would personally be keeping Martinelli and adding to that. So left wing, obviously, we need to sign someone in a left wing position, which personally, up to me, I'll be getting rid of Trossard. I'm not gonna lie to you, and keeping Martinelli. Then we need to have another potentially either a backup or somebody that's gonna be able to challenge Bukayo Saka on that right hand side, because right now we don't have somebody to do that. In my opinion, Ethan Wanyeri is not a right winger. He's more of a number 10. I'll be using him to challenge Odegaard in that number 10 position, and potentially just giving Odegaard a more of a free role. Because when you look at the way like Man City was playing for so many years, like what's his name? Kevin De Bruyne, I know he's gone now, but he had so much free realm. Like he was able just to roam, go wherever he wants and all that stuff. So something like that could be a case of Odegaard doing potentially the same thing. So that's basically what I'll be saying. And then there's obviously Jorginho's gone, so we potentially need to replace him. Which there's talks obviously about Zubimendi coming in. That's pretty much over the line, if you ask me. In my opinion, that's pretty much over the line. I think he's coming is pretty much sealed and done. There's this thing about financial sort of trying to help Real Sociedad out. Fine, we'll wait till the 1st of July, a couple of weeks away, announce it, good. But then now there's talks about potentially Thomas Partey going. If Thomas Partey do go, where do we go from there? That's basically my thing. Where do we actually go from there? Because if Thomas Partey goes and we're not able, so now it's a case of now we have to go back into the market and get another DM, because it's going to take Zubimendi years, I say years, a couple of months to embed himself. And in my opinion, we need to get a lot of these players in so that we can have a good preseason. So yeah, if we end up, so for example, so I said 5 players, right? Left wing, striker, right wing, that's 3. Obviously, Zubimendi is coming in, that's 4. And then if Partey goes, we need to replace him. That's already 5, but he wasn't part of my. And everyone keeps saying we've got enough left backs. I feel we need another left back, because if Partey goes, I'll be tempted to move Miles Lewis-Skelly into that DM position. Just give him the chance. Give him the chance, because that's where he used to play, which then mean you need another left back. Because as far as I'm concerned, what's his name? Calafiori is not dependable. How many games did he play for Arsenal last season? Please, someone tell me. He hardly played for Arsenal last season. It's not dependable. He's a liability. We spent about £43 million on this man, and he barely played a handful of games, in my opinion. So, which then means he needs to go back into the market. You got Tomiyasu, non-existent. He needs to go, but we know he ain't going. He can play on a left back, right back. Timber can potentially play left back. But when you look at the last couple of seasons, when Timber first came in, he had an ACL. Then we overplayed Ben White, which then he got injured. Then last season, Ben White got injured, and then we overplayed Timber, which then meant he got injured at the end of the season. So you need to be able to rotate, so which means you need strength in depth. So for me, it's just solidify that right back position and say that's Timber and that's Ben White, pending injuries, and then you can move things around. Let's just say that's them. Then on your left back position, you got, at the moment, it's Calafiori and Miles Lewis-Skelly as it stands. But then if you move Miles Lewis-Skelly into the midfield, because Zinchenko is going, we all know that Zinchenko is going. So if Zinchenko goes, we're lacking another left back, right? And yeah, so where do we go from there? Where do we go from there? That's just basically it. So we need another left back. I would keep Kivior, so we got Kivior as well. So I would actually keep Kivior as far as I'm concerned, because he played well. He actually played well. He came in and he was covering for Gabriel for however many months towards the end of the season, especially against Real Madrid, against PSG. He didn't do too bad, in my opinion. And when you look at it as a whole, again, strength in depth, the more times he plays, the more games he gets, the better he gets. So why get rid of him now and then trying to spend more money to replace him for another player who is going to take time to now start embedding himself into the Arsenal way? It doesn't make sense. So you got to keep Kivior. And then you look at the right-hand side, you got Saliba. Who's covering Saliba? Because I can't remember. Because if you're saying it's supposed to be either Ben White or it's meant to be, I don't know, Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu is non-existent, so it can't be Tomiyasu in my opinion. And it can't be Ben White, like I said, if you keep him as a right back. So who is Saliba's backup? And that's why I said we need another centre-back. So we need another centre-back to cover Tomiyasu, you know? So you cover Saliba. So there's a lot of work, in my opinion, that needs to be done at Arsenal right now. There's a lot of work. Oh my God. Oh, I'm just wondering how pre-season is gonna be. So yeah, those are the positions potentially that I think that we need to cover, in my opinion. And yeah, we just basically need to cover those positions as quickly as possible so we can have a good pre-season. Because otherwise it's going to be a whole heap of mess. We won't be able to have a good preseason, a full preseason with all the players that we know we're going to need to start that first game against Manchester United, because that's going to be a big statement win. If we can go to Old Trafford and get 3 points, boy, because I reckon Man United are not going to be sitting around and, you know, waiting on their morals and thinking, who should we sign now that we know that we're playing Arsenal? We've got our first game is at Old Trafford, so it's going to be a big game. Let's be honest about it. Manchester, as far, okay, I know that last season, the fixtures against Arsenal and Manchester United weren't the best. It weren't the best. It wasn't that spectacular that personally someone like me is used to in the past. But let's be honest about it. Let's be honest for a minute. Manchester United against Arsenal, it's a massive game. It's a massive game. I don't care what anyone tells me. So it's one of those things where we have to be prepared. We have to be prepared. This new Puma, but I'm just looking at it. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. I really don't know. But listen, hope you guys are good. That's the fixture list. Our first 3 games. First 3 games. First 3 games are, I reiterate, Arsenal taking on Manchester United. First game is going to be away at Old Trafford. The second game is going to be at Leeds at home. That's our first home game of the season. And then the third game of the season, of the start of the season, is Liverpool at Anfield. What a start. Anyways, that's me, guys. Take care. Thank you for joining, and I will see you guys next time.